project, Clean Water for the Children of Gaza. Tickets are $15, $10 for students, low income, available at area bookstores, plus at meccaforpeace.org or call 510-548-0542. No one turned away for lack of funds.
Wow, what a discussion, no? It's top of the hour, is 8 o'clock. You're listening to 94.1 KPFA Berkeley, 89.3 KPFB Berkeley, 88.1 KFCF in Fresno, and online at kpfa.org. Mr. Chuch in the controls, and I got Pedro up, in Studio D. I think they're still having that discussion about gang awareness and gang junction. Let me tell you, we've been talking about that for many years. Many of our brothers and sisters are dying in the streets of Aztlán, and it's a shame that we have to go through that. This is La Onda Bajita.
We are the change makers, dropping conciencia and consejos like the U.S. government does soldiers. We don't just report the news, we make the news, letting the script on your mind as we are making changes in La Onda Bajita, dropping pearls on Pacifica Radio. This is not just KPFA, this is Radio Liberación. We don't fake the funk, can't pull no punches, porque ya llegamos y no nos vamos. Mi gente, aquí estamos, y en esta lucha, todo lo logramos. ¡Chicano!
KPFA 94.1 FM and KPFB at 89.3 FM in Berkeley, with KFCF at 88.1 FM in Fresno, Califas. Yo soy el Gavilán Molina, cruising with La Onda Bajitas, Radio del Barrio Aztlán. Órale, and we're going to take it back, Simoke, yes. So open up your mentes to a truly unique experience in Radiolandia, where a new vision, a new citizen, and a new world where many worlds are possible. Aquí nomás. So cruise with us as we take it from rock to revolution, ritmo hasta la resistencia, con la voz del pueblo del sol. Aquí, keep it firme. We are La Onda Bajitas crew. We march, we protest, and we report. We are NPR Radio Comunitario. Órale. And we're coming at you live tonight from the mothership here in Basurclas. So keep it here nomás as we take it and turn it over esta noche.
Corrido canto yo con mucha pena de la desgracia que ocurrió en la nación. Esta ley que han pasado en Arizona, que legaliza la discriminación por falta del valor moral y fortaleza. La migración se niegue a reformar. Ahora sufrirá la gente que trabaja y las familias separadas seguirán. Arizona, estado de vergüenza, ¿qué has hecho con tu miedo y tu temor? En vez de ser famoso por tu hermosura, tú tienes fama de racismo y rencor.
So much pain in Arizona, let me tell you. And the president, when he spoke, he didn't talk about cutting money from the war machine, or building nuclear weapons, or not even solutions. It's a shame that our president is talking about cutting government funds. Not even talking about health care. A shame, you president, because there's so much gente, people dying of cancer, and they have to raise money. They have to go for these walks for 3 or 4 days to raise money. And you're just giving out checks to those people that fighting the war, killing innocent people. Enough of that killing. And talking about killing, we're still in Studio D, and we're talking about gang injunction. And I have Pedro over there kicking it. Buenas noches, Pedro. How are you doing?
Buenas noches, Mr. Chuch. Aquí estamos.
I'm just fired up, enojado con el presidente.
We got to be mad with and full of rage and, but with consciousness, Mr. Chuch.
That's right, that's right. But some raza, we're machismos. You know what I mean?
Simón, así pasa a veces, and we got to take it to that level where we got to, raise up the fist and stand together and unite to be able to make a difference, and really, organize our hombres y mujeres out there to be able to stand together as well and, come together as a community as well. Just like what they're doing right here on Full Circle. We got folks that are here working together as a community trying to break those barriers that are, sometimes invisible to many people, but at the same time visible to many people that feel those oppressions, that feel those reactions, that feel those types of, gang injunctions that focus on the youth and don't even give them a voice at the same time. So here we are on La Onda Bajita. My name is Pedro Reyes, and we're going to be talking to some of the folks that were here earlier talking about some of the issues going on with the gang injunctions here in Oakland, but also try to focus on around the nation, what's going on around the nation with these gang injunctions and how can they be stopped before they can, spill out into the rest of the nation, right? Because as we know, once it starts taking place in one place, it starts going to the next and the next, and next thing you know, you got 287G across the nation. Next thing you know, you got gang injunctions all across the nation. You got ICE deportations across the nation. As we know, this is a very serious time where we see the government separating the family more than ever rather than trying to bring it together. And so we have to acknowledge what's really going on with the system. How are they trying to separate us? And here's a good way to start the dialogue, right? Starting with the people that are feeling the effect of these types of laws that, stereotype and bring out those stereotypes in many different ways that, oppress the community. So tonight we got our brother right here. He's Yusuf Shakur, right? Yusuf, are you there with us?
Yes, I am.
Right on. So why don't we get your perspective, since you've been listening on the line and and you've been hearing all the folks talk about the gang injunction locally here. I hear you're an activist out in Detroit, right? Is that right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how this gang injunction relates to you in Detroit.
Well, I mean, it creates a oppressive atmosphere that further alienates and isolates young men and young women in our community and further put them in a position to be incarcerated. And it's not dealing with the root cause of the social behavior that is anti-community. So, it's our job to begin to educate them and to organize them. And actually, this is an opportunity to finally put them in a position to seize their potential as human beings. For every situation, there's some form of resistance. So we have to, this is our call of duty to resist that. Like in prison, they did something called STG. I believe they have it out there in California, Security Threat Group, where they label gangs and whatnot. And this is something that sweeps across the nation. And again, it attacks the potential of individuals that can come out and be problem solvers in our community.
That's right. And so once again, we're seeing that, you yourself, you come from a single-parent home, right? And we're seeing still that there's a lot of single-parent homes that are still in this generation. For your generation, you yourself are a father now, right? And, looking at the next generation, how do you feel this is going to affect kids that are incarcerated who are teenage parents or, kids that are having kids when they're kids, right?
Most definitely. I mean, again, what has happened is our children are being recycled through the same process of destruction. So if we're not offering heartfelt solutions to the healing process of the broken families, the broken communities, then that antisocial behavior is like the call of day. It becomes their way of being human, which actually is dehumanizing to themselves and in their community. And the individuals that's controlling these gang injunctions, they really don't care. They don't care about the community. So we have to care. We have to show them that we care. We have to show them that they're worth saving, and we have to love them despite some of their backwards behavior, but also look at the fact it's the lack of resources. It's the lack of cultural and educational institution in our community. So the community is operating off of negative instincts.
That's right. And as we can see, like when we got the Oscar Grant situation, right? I mean, the cops didn't stop to ask if he was a single parent or if he was even a parent himself at such a young age, right? And we got to recognize that that's a reality nowadays. And if our kids are going to be behind bars just because of the color they wear, the style of clothing they wear, I mean, how can we be able to help the students that are out there are trying to be motivated, but then have all these types of boundaries and, exceptions that they can't do, so to speak?
I mean, the thing of it is, like, they have motivation. It's just they have negative motivation. I mean, every human being has a desire to live. Unfortunately, their desire to live is really a desire to survive because they lack proper skills. So they have undeveloped skills. And it's anti-community, anti-themselves. So it's upon us as a community. You know what I mean? Like, out there where you all at, the Crips and Blood is a byproduct of the destruction of the Black Panther Party by the American government. If the Black Panther Party was able to exist, it wouldn't have been no Crips and Blood. These individuals would have been productive members of the community, serving the community. So, we have to keep things in a political context. Gangs, in the sense of being negative, was created in the destruction of revolutionaries in our community.
That's right. And as we can see, we have the political parties, right? Red and blue. There you go. It's like you can totally take it back to the system and say that, you got norteños and sureños right there, right? And so, once again, Yusuf Shakur, do you want to give the folks a website where they can get a hold of your material? Because I know you've written some books and maybe a little bit about what you do out there in Detroit.
Sure, they can go to www.yusufshakur.org. I've written a book called The Window to My Soul, My Transformation from a Zone Thug to a Father and Freedom Fighter, which kind of puts into perspective the things that we're talking about, growing up in a single household with a father that abandoned me, co-founding the gang, and ultimately going to prison for a crime I didn't do. And while in prison, I meet my father for the first time. And the fact that prison didn't rehabilitate me. My father rehabilitated me. He taught me how to redeem myself, how to transform myself. That it impacted me to come home, where I've been home after doing 9 years. I've been on 10 years, graduated from college, a community activist, community organizer, written a few books, own and operate a bookstore in my neighborhood.
Right on, man. And so that's good to hear, that you were able to rehabilitate yourself for, meeting your father too as well, right? And it sounds like, that's something that could happen if these gang injunctions go into place, right? We might have thousands of kids who meet their fathers or mothers for their first time inside these systems, inside these walls, because the parents are probably young enough to stay in there long enough to where their young ones might be able to might commit a crime at the same time for these types of gang injunctions and end up in the same place where their parents ended up. So once again,
that gang injunction, the essence of it is counterproductive to the human being. It's counterproductive to our community. It is an oppressive system to further to eliminate the social structure and the social fabric of as a community. And it also continue to put us against each other. The old against the the young. I mean, nobody wants to live in a crime-infested community, but let's be real. I mean, in the black and brown community, they're crime-infested due to the lack of resources, due to the social neglect, the educational neglect, the political neglect, which is producing neglectful human beings.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to leave it right there with you, Yusef Shakur. We'll be right back with the folks right here in the studio. And once again, thank you for being with us and for putting all the work in out there in Detroit. I know it's a struggle and it keeps on going. So once again, we're right here.
Thanks for having me on.
So once again, we're right here on La Onda Bajita. We're kicking it with the folks right here talking about gang injunctions. You were just listening to Yusef Shakur, who's written a couple books, and you should definitely check his stuff out and learn some more about what's going on inside the system as well as outside of the system. And we'll be right back after this quick music break. And Mr. Chooch, here we go. Take it away.
I'm taking them with this error. I'm staying on my toes. I'm hanging with my boss. With my head high. You don't see me with the pros. Cause I'm on my job and everybody gotta know. So if you own your job, never keep it on the low. So I'm posted on my block just to let my swagger show. And I'm turning up my music just so everybody knows. Cause I gotta stay fresh to the day that I die. And I put that on my life. You gon' always see me fly. I ain't ever looking for me. You just see me on the grind. So let me hear you say it cause I hear it all the time. On my job. On my job. You don't even wanna try. On my job. Cause I'm in it for the time. And I'm hearing it a million times. I'm on my job. And I don't let it ride by. I'm on the top waiting for it. See me all in the sky. I never thought that I would be here when I was a little guy. No. Staying on my job, trying to keep my image fly. Performing on stage, spitting on my lyrics live. By the way it's been going, it starts to give me all this drive. Cause I'm seeing all this money and I'm seeing all these lights. Focused on that moment, so I'm trying to do it right. I'm on my job, I ain't talking about retail. I'm talking about making money, skip the details. I'm done hustling on the block with the weed sales. I'm trying to make it something big like street bells. I gotta stay fresh to the day that I die. And I put that on my life, you gon' always see me fly. I ain't ever looking for me, you just see me on the grind. So let me hear you say it cause I hear it all the time. RocketPro.com. Shake it up, make it explode like soda. It don't matter what color you are, Crayola. See, I'ma teach you some things like Yoda. Cause I'm trying to fold you like yoga. Not to mention I'm penetrating like soldiers. All got us sweating in that yellow bone. I'm looking bad, so I think I'm gonna take her home. I'm in the zone and I'm looking hella on. And I'm trying to get another, so I give on my phone. And I'm shining like chrome. About to take one to the dome just because I'm feeling grown. Trying to get you to the song when you know I'm your thong.
Smoking on the notion, now we got the bottles open, mixing with the Coca-Cola. Now we got the purple potion, pass it in a circle motion. We gon' serve it, what we blowing out his skirt, they can't control it.
Ballin' in the club, bruh, something like the Mavericks. With these four and we're here, they can't stand it. Cause we We so fly like airlines and ain't landed. Got the club cracking and we taking it for granted. I'm a bandit, hanging with my homies. The club show me love just 'cause everybody know me. And if you can't find me, just VIP. Dynamite, you know I'm high tonight. Bleezy in my hand, falling birds on my wrist. Girl, it's natural to brag. Plus the nigga got the swag, and I never let it go. Ain't fitted since the beginning, from my hips to my toes. I said it once before, I like it when you get low. Girl, you know how it goes when you come into my shows. I'm rolling on 24s, and I'm looking like a star. Sitting higher than the ball with 215s on the car. Hit a bass slapping hard, getting at that bench like Trina. Rather standing on the toes like she a ballerina. Plus I'm faster than a Beamer and a brother on the surge. Clean kicks, matching shirt, color coordinated skirt. But it's only for the moment, so don't get your feelings hurt. 'Cause in the morning, girl, I'm gone. I got a tour around the aisle. Look good, check out my swag. Money in my pocket, girl, throw it in the bag. Two-tone bag, see me on the mag. See me in the bay, 'cause you know just where I'm at. I look good, check out my swag. Money in my pocket, girl, throw it in the bag. Two-tone bag, see me on the mag. See me in the bay, 'cause you know just where I'm at. Where I'm at, in the bay is where I rap. It's Friday night and I'm feeling right. About to start my night with sugar, but like my shirt so bright, it's retro. And I heard it's cracking, let's go.
Why you gotta be the boss?
Little homie, 'cause I said so. So get in the whip while I hit my partner with my ghetto metro. We about to pick up my homie in an instant like Progresso.
What should I wear to the club?
We VIP, we got no dress code. I'm gonna be on top just like a fraction with my team.
Two-tone, I heard you were the best in the bay.
Yes, indeed. And I say practice makes perfect, so I got just what you need. So I think about you all the time. I don't know what it is, but you're on my mind. Any bad situations I'ma leave behind, 'cause it's you I want with me till the end of time.
I think about you all the time.
All the time, all the time.
I need you here in my life. In my life, in my life. We're strong here together. And let's stay strong here forever. Makes me strong throughout the weather. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
See, I've been in a lot of relationships. We argue sometimes, but lately we've been making it. The love we never faking it, we take it to extremes. And our love is getting stronger with no cheating in between. See, you've been running through my mind all day, reminiscing at work about days I can't say. And I can't wait, girl, I need you right now. I'm over here so excited, girl, I need to slow down. Yeah. Think about all the situations we've been through. When we got together, we knew this wouldn't be simple. We over here thinking about our rights and wrongs, but that doesn't even matter.
If you like that music, give Nicole a call. Area code 510-809-6637. And we'll be doing the interview in a little bit because we have a Pedro in Studio D. Is that right, Pedro? Ahí estás.
Wanna say right there, eh?
There you are. There you are.
Aquí, 1, 2, 3. What's happening, Simón?
Button. Spencer.
Órale, así pasa.
You were 6, not 5.
Where? So we're right here, still in Studio D. We're breaking down the gang injunctions, trying to get folks educated on what's going on and going on in the barrio, you know, because this is something that, like, it's an attack on the barrio, basically, on the neighborhoods that are low-income, people of color. And, you know, we have here someone who's actually been through one of the processes of these gang injunctions. And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what happened with the gang injunction.
Yes, my name is Michael M., and I'm one of the 40, I guess, notorious gang members in the what John Russo put on the list. And I think I really shouldn't be on the list because they're holding me accountable of stuff I did as a youngster, you know. You know, I paid my debt to society. You know, I did my crime. I paid my time, right?
That's right.
I've been doing cool on probation, you know, working and trying to be a law-abiding citizen. But you got this picture of me painted as negative, you know. They're trying to bring me back into the system. I got a few more months on probation. I'll be off, you know. I'm going to try to seal up my record and everything, but you got this injunction now trying to pass in the neighborhood, but it seems like they want me back in the system. They're like, oh, man, he's almost off. And when I'm on probation, they can't bother me at all. They got to have a good reason to pull me over or stop me, you know. So they see this injunction. It's just basically, I think it's holding me back for a lot of reasons, you know. They say I'm a nuisance. They're saying I'm harassing my neighbors, you know, and everything, and taking up the whole, you know, neighborhood. But I challenge that. I want to have the police come to those businesses, to the neighbors, and ask them about, hey, how's your neighbor Michael doing? And I know every neighbor and business will speak good about me and what I do in the community. If anything, I look out for the businesses and the community, not to tell the little guys that walk around, hey, don't take over there, or don't mess around here. You know, I look out for the cars, everything, but, you know, it's just a lot of BS of what's going on with the police. If anything, they're like the gang members who drive around talking about what the F you looking at? Oh, you want me to get out the car and, you know, whoop your ASS? You know, you'd be like, come on, dude, you know, I thought you were supposed to protect and serve this community. Basically, they're the terrorists over here trying to punk us around when we're walking around. You know, it's just very upset because nobody don't listen to us.
So they think because they have a badge, they can push people around, especially the youth, and basically, you know, break your rights, basically, because you have the right to an attorney, you have the right to say, no, I don't want to be searched, right? And you can stand up for your rights unless they decide to just break your rights without respecting your rights, right? Is that kind of what happens?
But see, like that, if you're on probation, they'd be like, your rights are all gone. You don't have no rights at all. I tell them, I'd be like, they pull me over like 6 cars deep, and I'm by myself. And they pull me over, and the first thing I'm asking, I'm like, why you pull me over? So they find some reason. They'd be like, oh, you got one of those little things that smell like your car hanging out from your window. I'm like, seriously? I said, so do you need 6 cop cars and 10 officers on me? Well, you're no gang member. I'm scared that you might shoot me. I'm like, come on, seriously? You pull me over all the time, and you never find nothing. You don't see me on these corners. All you see me is with me or my family or my girlfriend. And I'm like, dude, you just, so now when they handcuff me and I feel them shaking. So that kind of gets me scared when I see I'm getting handcuffed. There's officers all around me and they're shaking so it's like they're scared because they got this picture painted. Oh, he's a gang member. He's a threat. He could have a gun. So I think at the station they're psyching him up to be over here to be like this kind of Mr. Macho Man's and let's go push these guys around. We got a gun. If he moves, we're going to pop him. And I'm not scared of nobody in the neighborhoods or anything. The people I'm scared of is the police because that's the only people who will bother me, actually.
Well, right on, man. We want to appreciate you for having courage to tell us your story and why you're here today and why gang injunctions are, you know, a part of the psychological warfare that's going on in our communities, right? Because, you know, just because the police think they're a part of our community, they can just push people around when it becomes their community for some reason, right? So talking about the community, we also have some community activists. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Vilma Ortiz, and what I wanted to say in response to what Michael was saying is that he has to expend a lot of resources now to get his name off the list, even though he had been doing everything that his parole officer had asked him to do, that he's been paying for the time, he's done his time for the indiscretions and things that he had done in his youth, and yet now he has to expend more very precious resources to find an attorney who will represent him, pay the court fine, to go into the court to basically prove what his parole officer knows, which is that he's not involved in gang activity at this time. And then we had this whole panel, this room full of people who were providing solutions. Well, those solutions take money. And the resources, instead of resources being directed to these very well effective programs that are grassroots, working with the very young men that need this kind of intervention, instead of those resources being applied in that manner, we have a city attorney who's in rogue on himself without, this never has come before the full city council. He's going on expending resources that could be better used to continue an incarceration response. An incarceration response that this city can't afford. We have very few police officers. Everyone knows this is a very difficult budget time in terms of law enforcement resources. And what we're trying to do as activists, community activists, is have a grassroots, solution-oriented response that isn't about incarceration, that is about prevention intervention that can really work. That's what we'd like to see. And I think if those monies were placed there, we could see a very different type of Oakland. We have a new mayor. She comes from the grassroots. I'm really excited about that. And what we have to do is gather the political will to have these resources shift away, they're very scarce as it is, towards solutions and interventions and away from simple incarceration. And before I stop, because I know I got to get off here, but we have a hearing on February 3rd because the nonprofit who has stepped up to represent many of these guys Russo is after them to get off the case, to disqualify them. And that happens a hearing February 3rd. And I really want to urge people to come out and sit with these lawyers and support the folks who have come forward to support many of these people who are named in this injunction.
How about yourself? What do you want to say to this part of the community process as well, Tone? Is your name? Yes.
My name is Anthony Williams, and I'm a yoga instructor here in the Bay Area. And I just want to piggyback on what Michael was saying. I understand his fear. I understand his anger as a 44-year-old black man. And one of the solutions that I offer, again, is yoga. So I've been doing this for 22 years. I offer a community class through naroga.org at the First Christian Church every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. So you can go to naroga.org and get more information about that. My personal website is empowermentyoga.com. So, like I said, I understand the anger, but what are we going to do with the anger?
That's
so
right.
We can't let the anger just cloud our future, our program. So we have to really understand how we channel this anger and how this anger really affects us and affects the community. So with this program, I'm offering choice.
Wonderful.
Choice.
And that's what the youth need. They really need more resources. They really need more guidance into spiritual understanding of their history and where they come from, so they can understand who they are and where they can go to with their types of skills that their ancestors learned. I'm sure they can reflect on that and be able to learn from them as well. How about yourself, real quickly, because we're running out of time. So
yes, I'm Whitney, and I organize with Critical Resistance and the folks in Northeast and West Oakland trying to stop these injunctions. And I wanted to say that we need to reprioritize as a community how we are spending our tax dollars, and we can do that by putting pressure on the folks that we have voted into office and make sure that they listen to what our solutions are. We didn't go to John Russo and ask him for these injunctions. We did not call for them as a community. When I talk to people, they say they want jobs, they want better education systems, smaller classrooms, they want health care and quality food and safe spaces for young people to go when they're not in school, and other basic resources so that we can move beyond surviving and actually be able to thrive as a community. People aren't saying we need more police in the streets. People aren't saying we need more people to have GPS on their ankles every day. We can win, and one of the ways that we're doing that is by turning people out to the hearings and the Public Safety Committee meetings where the Oakland Police Department and the City Attorney are going to be bringing their information, and we as a community will be bringing ours to encourage the City Council as a whole to stop these injunctions from going into place and from becoming permanent. And the next Public Safety Committee meeting is Tuesday, February 2nd, and it's at 5:30 p.m. at City Hall in Oakland on 14th and Broadway. And that's, again, Tuesday, February 22nd, 5:30 at City Hall. And we want as many people as possible to turn out and stop the injunctions.
That's right. And as we know, the more we can affect things locally, the more things nationally will start to happen as well, and the more models there will be to follow. Like in Oakland, they're starting to have those community. I think it's their community. Safety patrol. I think they're trying to basically take in the complaints of the people and start recognizing all those complaints that don't get recognized by their own police departments that are locally owned by the police. So once again, we need more enforcement by the community against these types of complaints, right? I mean, these types of complaints, because we need to be able to make these complaints valid. Because most of the time the police hold these complaints to themselves, and sometimes they even come up to the person that's making the complaint and threaten them at the same time because they have their names. And so once again, we need more types of systems that are going to check our types of institutional police, and at the same time, our private police, because as we know, there's two different departments, and sometimes we don't realize that there's two different departments, and they're both working under different types of laws, where the private police might have certain laws and the local police have other certain laws they follow. So once again, as these gang injunctions start coming up, you guys start getting informed on how they're affecting your community. So we want to thank all of you for organizing and for being here with us, and thank you once again. Any last words?
This is Stacy from Critical Resistance again, and I just wanted to speak a little bit to what you are saying. We believe that the police cannot be accountable to communities. If police want to be accountable, they should quit their jobs and start working on some of these programs that everyone else is talking about. I think that the issue here with gang injunctions is that we need to stop using policing and imprisonment to deal with social, economic, and political problems. And this is the kind of solutions that everyone's been talking about tonight. We need fully funded education and affordable and free health care and affordable housing and programs that bring youth together and don't make them afraid of each other, because a lot of these divisions are also coming out of the kind of racial divisions that are stoked when people are imprisoned by prison guards, and then that comes and spills out to the outside. We need more community programs, and we need more community-based ways to deal with the harm that does happen in our communities, because there is violence in our communities, and people respond to it every day. So I want to plug one website. It's a project that Critical Resistance works on called the Storytelling and Organizing Project, which is community-based responses to harm and violence, and it's the website there is www.stopviolenceeveryday.org. There are some really incredible stories there about how we can start building up responses to harm so that we don't have to call police when things go down between us, but we can respond to that and hold each other accountable.
That's right. So once again, act locally, nationally, and be able to keep that movement going, right? Because as we know, it doesn't stop with Prop 21. Now it's gang injunctions, right? And last comment?
Yes, we also, for people out there listening, we have community meetings that are happening all in North Oakland. It happens the second or the first Tuesday of the month, and then we have meetings at Eastside Arts Alliance around the Fruitvale Resistance to the Injunction, and then there are meetings in the East Oakland. If you want to sign up to Stop the Injunction .wordpress, could they sign up to there, or tell them what they need?
Go to Google Stop the Injunctions, and we are the second link on there, and you can also look us up on Facebook. We have a fan page on there that we keep regularly updated.
And come to a meeting, get involved. We really need you.
Wonderful. Once again, thank you very much. We're right here on La Onda Bajita, y vamos así, despacio, pero seguro.
estudiantes rising for a better mañana. Call your governor, call your president, and tell him that you're upset. Not mad, Pedro says. Upset that they don't spend money on education. They sure spend money on the war machine, on nuclear weapons, and many other things, Pedro. Is that right, Pedro?
Yes. We could also include the prison industry complex into that, which has been around for generations and generations. And, uses up all our tax dollars and at the same time invests in corporate privatization through the prisoners that are working in those systems, and are stuck in those systems sometimes for life. Right. Because they're such good workers, maybe, and they don't want to let them out and work out into society because they're making too much money off of them sometimes, where they want to keep them locked up for the rest of their lives into the day they die.
What a shame.
Unfortunately, it's the healthcare system in there is not good enough to keep all the workers alive for many, many years. And so once again, we're dealing with many types of systems, and this is one very system that we call the prison industry complex. And it's very complex in that sense that we can't figure out why they want to keep on adding gang injunctions to our communities so that these systems could become more broken down with overcrowding, with institutionalized corporate greed, so to speak, because as we know, in prison, Chooch, you can't really actually get a degree, you can't really get a BA, but you can get a GED, which actually if you ever make it back into society, you can use like a high school diploma. But unfortunately, that's as far as you can get in education in that sense of prison, right? And so, we've been hearing about these gang injunctions, but we don't hear, are they going to fix this educational system inside the prison system so that the kids could actually go to college when they get to, the maximum security prisons, right? Because most of the time, if you don't go for yourself and read those books, read those law books, you probably end up not learning very much, so to speak.
Right. And on the phone, we have Francisco Herrera. And buenas noches, Francisco. Are you there?
Buenas noches, Mr. Chooch. Buenas noches, Pedro. Here I am.
Buenas noches. What's happening, Francisco? ¿Cómo estás?
Dándole la vida un poquito.
Orale, we're hearing about these gang injunctions out in Oakland, and what's the fire behind the community, and keeping the community going and strong so that they can be able to tell these types of institutions that, enough is enough. Ya estuvo, ya basta. What do you think, man?
We were just talking about the death of Bishop Samuel Luis Garcia from Chiapas, Mexico, and it's exactly the same kind of thing. The Zapatistas rose up in arms in 1994. He played a very important role in being a mediator, precisely because the government ignores the needs of the folks, of people, regular people, just like exactly what goes on in the inner cities here in the working class neighborhoods. Then people have to get organized. These gang injunctions are nothing but really an ignorant approach to what really is needed. Just like you were saying, Pedro, education is key. And I think for the folks, we have to continue to wake up each generation that only can happen if people get organized. Radio KPFA only exists because people got organized. The FMLN in El Salvador exists as a government now because people got organized. The changes that we saw here in the 70s and 80s for neighborhoods worked because people got organized, and that's the call for today's folks. We have to get organized door to door, organization by organization, to make the changes and force the government, whoever's in the post or whoever gets elected, to respond to our needs.
That's right, and as we know, the anti-immigrant sentiment also goes in a cycle with this type of gang injunction, that's been giving the law enforcement the right to ask for immigration papers, and as we've seen in San Francisco, the gang injunctions are also trying to be a part of the process there, but then at the same time we're seeing these gang injunctions that end up making that connection. So when people end up in the prisons or in the county jails, now we're having that secure communities, for example, right?
Yeah. I'll never forget the day back when 187, when the mayor of Pomona, California, was stopped and almost arrested by a racist cop, and because he was dark-skinned, no? And so these phony solutions like the gang injunction, it really doesn't educate the police. It's almost like a permission to go and abuse any youth in the neighborhood. So it really is very badly informed. The police are very badly informed about their own laws, and really in the neighborhood is very badly informed about the law and what it means. And so most times, these gang injunctions are only seen as permissions for police officers to beat up on Latino youth and youth of color, or really working class youth as well, of all the colors.
That's right, because as we're seeing, when we started in the 80s, for example, I myself as a youth, during that time, we were dealing with Prop 21, for example. And now, later on, we're dealing with the immigrant, bills that are coming out that are really anti-immigrant and anti-low income and anti-low people of color, low-income people of color, basically, right? And so, once again, we're seeing that once the government is not really focusing on, uniting families or keeping families together, and as we can see in this nation address that Obama just gave, he sort of kind of tried to give that illusion that the government as a whole was trying to do that. And is that the reality? What do you think, man?
Well, I think that once again, a lot of realities are put out there, and really the only reality we're seeing here in East Oakland, por ejemplo, is hunger. Yesterday, I participated in a food delivery here at the Oakland Catholic Worker of over 250 families coming for basic food, that we receive here from the food bank. And the reality that we're seeing is hunger, is growing a sense of desperation from folks. And so I think it really calls to our organizations to really put an effort on organizing, on going door to door. Many times our own organizations spend a lot of time in the politics of the situation and don't understand the real pain that our families are going through when they have to bury their youth. And so I think it's a very important piece, because if not, we fall in these delusions of general statements like you're mentioning with President Obama, making these statements that don't reflect what people are really going through in the neighborhoods.
Yes, that's right, and the other reality, too, it comes down to, where we're seeing this type of illusion being played out in a way that's like hopeful for people to have something to look forward to. But then when you have all these resources that their budgets are being cut, the people are fighting over funding, and basically trying to get a little bit of funding becomes a struggle. And in that reality, then you end up just struggling for your own funding and don't even really make a community impact in that sense. So we need more folks to be able to focus on that. But in that sense, how would you suggest for community organizations to work together and be able to unite to overcome this type of dependence on, funding from the government sources, so to speak?
Yeah, well, the youth are developing a lot of projects where they're raising funds. I mean, the Instituto Familiar de la Raza in the Mission District was born from tamal sales, right? As well as la Clínica de la Raza here in East Oakland, young people got organized from the UC Berkeley School, Spanish-Speaking Citizens Foundation. All these organizations were born from young people getting organized, and together with their parents pushing teachers, together with the teachers pushing principals and school boards. All that happened, and I'm thinking of the civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s. The jails were full of teenagers, just like we saw in 94 with the 187 when the 10,000 youth put a stop to Freeway 880 in Oakland, when they put a stop to the BART system and stopped it for hours, when the young people and the elderly stopped the Golden Gate Bridge for 3 or 4 hours to put an end to the war sponsored by the U.S. in El Salvador and Guatemala. It's door to door, telephone by telephone, people really getting organized and getting into the Board of Education, getting into the the city council offices, and no business as usual, really stopping those activities and really making people pay attention to what the needs are in the community. It's down to the very basics.
Yes, that's right, Francisco. We're talking to Francisco Herrera right now on the phone. He's joining us right here to have this dialogue about gang injunctions, as well as like what do they, miss and misrepresent at the same time, right? Because at the same time we're seeing our youth stereotyped, really trying to be, dumbed down in that sense of like they would rather put, kids in juvenile hall than rather give them a better education, so to speak. They would rather expand the prison system than to make another university. They would rather increase the sheriff's budgets instead of give the teachers more salary, right? And so once again, all these different styles of politics affect the youth and then 7 generations down the road. And so, Francisco, for our last comment here, what do you want to tell the youth out there who have been putting themselves in the front line against types of institutions like the prison system or the war, or against like the military system as well, right? Because as we know, it just doesn't stop with gang injunctions; it goes all over the board.
Yeah, to the youth, felicidades, congratulations. You are on the right track. We have to continue to do it. Each generation has to create a new Bill of Rights. Each generation has to fulfill the constitutions of many countries. Constitutions are beautiful documents, but they don't mean anything unless people are willing to put their life and their wallets and their name and their commitment on the line. So felicidades to the youth who are getting organized. Tell your parents, your tias, your grandparents, bring them out. Involve your pastors from your different churches, no matter what religious belief you are from. Bring them out to the streets. Bring out your teachers. Continue to have the rallies, the community meetings, and bring out as many people. It's really one-to-one. It's those phone calls. It's those community meetings. Bring people out and get organized.
Yes, that's right. And so once again, we want to thank you for being with us and for joining us on this dialogue, on this very important dialogue. As we know, San Francisco is also a part of it. We have the gang injunction happening there in the area of the Mission District and a couple other areas already, I think it is. And if I'm correct, is that right?
No te oí bien, Pedro.
So is the gang injunctions already taking place in San Francisco?
Sí, yeah, in San Francisco it's already taking place, and it's just a big excuse for abuse of youth.
That's right. And so once again, we have to be aware that there's already these types of gang injunctions also in L.A., in Sacramento, and in different areas of Califas, because, it's been going on and behind the closed doors, so to speak, because if there was actual public awareness of these types of laws being in place, more people would definitely come out against it, I would think, they're
really cheap shot politics. It's really useless. and it's a waste of people's time and attention. A few years back, when educational programs were really funded, I'm thinking 2004, 2003, 2005, the amount of violence, the amount of shootings was almost non-existent in the mission. As soon as they started cutting out those programs of education, of youth support, once again the violence came up. This punishment and injunction, punishment, the whole system of punishment and injunctions is useless, and we have to get our families really going at the school boards, at the city council, at the board of supervisors, and changing these useless excuses for loss.
Yes, that's right. So once again, thank you, Francisco, and we just want to let the folks know that it's the gang injunctions is just the start to the beginning of war, the beginning of another prison industry complex that's going to last for generations. It's the beginning of locking up the youth that are going to be our hope for the future, and at the same time we have to think about when raids happen, when people end up in prison, when people end up in war, who ends up suffering? It's the kids, it's the youth. And we want to make sure that we're aware of that when we make these decisions to go to war and go to, shoot somebody down, because it's like, who it's going to affect, right? We had a 9-year-old get shot, and we had, kid be abducted here. So really, the youth are the ones that are paying for all these different types of political aggressions on our society. And so once again, we have to acknowledge these invisible oppressions that oppress us every day and that take our life and sacrifice to actually stay alive. So once again, my name is Pedro Reyes. We're right here. We'll be right back. We're going to start talking to El Bu in just a minute and talk a little bit about our indigenous roots and where we come from. Orale.
Police brutality is justice denied. I know I'm supposed to play a card, Pedro, but I think the card will be next month. That's right, next month. We're having a marathon for the whole month. That's what I heard, a whole month, to see if the listeners believe in KPFA. Because, it's hard times for everybody, Pedro. You know, so it's up to the listeners to keep this type of program going on. So I hope you participate in that marathon that I hear. You know, I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but a whole month, Pedro, we're going to raise money for this station. I'm pretty sure we're that hurt.
Because it is 94.1 KPFA Berkeley, 89.3 KPFB Berkeley, 88.1 KFCF in Fresno, and online at kpfa.org. Don't forget, you can always pledge safely online as well.
Mr. Chuch Longoria, and this is Radio Cafe, and you're listening to upcoming artists, and I'm not going to give you the names yet, just want you to listen up. Check it out. Yo soy Ventura, Mr. Chuch Longoria, and I'm here with Tara. It's good to have you here, Tara, with us on Radio Cafe, where we bring voice of the voiceless, where we bring those groups that are performing out there that don't give any plugs on the airwaves, and that's why we open up the airwaves of Aztlán on the last Friday of the month, and we have a couple of guests here tonight, and maybe you could ask them the names, or maybe they have a group name. Let's just check it out, Tara.
Absolutely, Mr. Chuch. You're always here with the I can count on you for the Ferme Rolitas. And you know, out there, you get so much of the commercialism, but here on Radio Cafe on La Onda Bajita, we can always get that fresh new talent from the Bay. And we got from the East Bay, local grown, brewed. So what's the name of your group?
Actually, we don't really have a group name. We're just solo artists. It's actually really kind of crazy how we met. Go ahead and...
Yeah, we basically got to know Two Tone's father, and then he was telling me a lot about Two Tone. After that, we started playing phone tags, and then we got together, and then all of a sudden, you know, he's got good potential doing his rap, and he also got a good potential of writing, you know, and he's pretty good on that. And then that's when basically vocals and start singing, and that's when we got together and start collaborating and do things together.
That's Rip right there, you know.
Yeah.
And it's your boy Two Tone. And you know, like, it was crazy because like I had a concert coming up, right? And I was gonna open up for DJ Quick, right, over in Anaheim. And then so you know, I'm over there, and then it's getting real close to my concert, and one of my other lyricist that, you know, I do music with, he's also a singer. He goes by Drew, Young D. He actually flaked out on me, you know, and it was like, it wasn't really his fault. He's really young. He's 16, you know, and his mom's all like, oh, no, he's been bad. He can't go out, you know. So I was like, oh, come on, man. I was talking with my stepfather, you know, Robert, telling me, he's like, hey, man, you know, I got this homeboy. His name's Calipo. He goes by Rip. He's a real cool guy, man. He has a voice out of this world, and you guys should do a collabo. And I'm just, you know, 1 week goes by, and then I'm all like, you know what, it's about time I meet this guy. And then Robert told him, he was like, hey, you know, one of his lyricists flaked out on him that was supposed to be in his show with him. And then so, you know, he came all the way out of his way when we were already in Anaheim, right after work, 2 jobs, no sleep, right after work, went on the airplane and flew all the way to Anaheim and learned the lyrics on the plane and did the performance.
What was that, one night, one day, one night?
And that's the synergy, and that's how y'all came together and born, and now we're getting a little bit of that on the airwaves.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
And we made our first song together. It was called On Our Mind, and that was just with me and him, and that's the song playing in the background. And
so it's all about love.
Yeah, you know,
that's what's on your mind.
We're just talking about, you know, how ladies been on our mind. You know, a lot of dudes nowadays are afraid to say, you know, not even afraid, just don't even mention that, you know, their girl's been on their mind all day and stuff like that. So, you know, we're just saying that we're not afraid to say it.
I mean, I hear it in the song, I hear it coming out, and a lot of times on the radio you do. You hear the guys getting down, they'll say it there, but do you really tell your lady that and appreciate her in that way every day?
Well, I'm glad you said that because last night, actually, I did tell my girl that, I really do appreciate her, for everything that, she done. And that brings out, more of the music, too. That's, the reason why, me and Two-Tone here, straight got the song going and make it understandable for everybody because a lot of women need that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the brothers do, too. I mean, I think in this day and age, those relationships are on everybody's mind, and it can be hard to. And I think at the core, everything is that love and building that, at our community level. And how do you see your music also taking that next step and building your community? What's your vision in terms of that? Here at La Onda Bajita, we're all about the love, the community, and that organizing, getting out deep.
I really want my music to reach people because I don't never give out a negative vibe. I'm not talking about, killing people on the streets. I'm not talking about some of that goon people be saying all the time. It's like, I don't really do that. I don't talk about what I, don't do. I talk about what I do. I talk about hitting the club because I always hit the club. Rip hits the club. And, we talk about the ladies because we all go through relationships. Yeah. We all go through relationships. I'll talk about, listening to gangster music maybe. I got a song called Gangster Music. I'm talking about riding with my top down, listening to gangster music. That's all I'm talking about, the whole song. I'm not talking about, I'm a gangster though, riding with my top down.
And so what does that mean in terms of talking about gangster music when you got, that's it. Right now, the reality on our street is we have young brothers, young sisters, and they're getting shot up, shooting each other up. And so we can throw that around, but the reality is that sound is resonating in our communities. And as musicians and artists, we all have a place as educators, as parents, to bring that to and take it to the next level. And so how do you see that coming through in your music, in your message, and boom, what do you think your responsibility is as young men coming up and you got the young brothers coming after you, hearing you?
I say, just keep it positive, just there's no use. It really just makes sense to have all this violence on the streets. Why can't, up and just do something that could stay in your life forever. It's like, come on now, just have fun, go party, go to the club, go get a girl's number, go do something, have fun, even for the ladies, go get a dude's number, go to the club, have fun, and it doesn't always have to be about violence. People like to have fun. That's what people want to do. They want to have fun. They don't want to go outside and have to worry about getting shot and stuff. It's like, what's the point to it?
Not only that, it's also history. Because history, it comes, with a lot of times with violence, people shooting people, especially innocent, young ones or whatever, they get in, they're there at the wrong time and at the wrong place. But it always has to be one person that basically just messes everything up.
We got Two-Tone and Rip in the house, and they're talking about their passion and that uplifting, keeping the music out there, lifting up the vibe. If people want to hit you up, figure you out, hear some of your new synergy, where can they find you?
I have a Facebook. I do have a Facebook.
All right, put it out there.
If you guys want to check out my Facebook, support is everything, and go ahead and check me out. You can put in Andrew, Andrew, and Patillo. Just go ahead and click that. You'll see Two-Tone, a picture of me near right by a Lambo. Go ahead and click me, add me, ask me any questions. Want to do any collaborations? I'm open. I don't never charge. It's whatever. It's all fun to me.
Thanks, you guys.
All right, thank you.
From the Bay, keeping it real. I'm here with Mr. Chucho on Radio Cafe on La Onda Bajita.
All right.
Thank you, Tara, for that great entrevista. I tell you, gente, the more you understand what's going on here at KPFA, we bring information, and I want to thank homeboy that I work with. His name is Ventura. That's my name. That's my first name. That's his last name, But cubo to Ventura, and thank you for bringing your son and his homeboy to Radio Cafe. Thanks again, homies.
All right, much love. God bless.
Thank you, man. Thanks for giving us the opportunity. All right.
One love.
I'm here to stay with you. My life is colored.
Mel Gibson, his whole crew is racist. And Apocalypto was the last of my patients. I know soon we'll see the bones of this American nation. Another Hollywood history flick. At least 99% bullish for the brain. It's entertaining. You think it's educating. Yet the true facts are what they're erasing, portraying our ancestors as the savage. When in fact it's the Euro-Spanish who spread destruction, disease, malice. Now let's flip the script to bring balance. The eagle and the condor descend from the mesas to sit on Mel Gibson. His whole crew is racist. Hella Apocalypto was the last of my patients. I know soon we'll see the bones of this American nation. Just another white man's racist interpretation, who had no concept of our great civilization. Our stories go back to the moment of creation, the first vibration, the planetary formations, documents on stone, the Anawa Confederation, keepers of a science and spiritual elevation, deep philosophies with real healing properties, rooted to the truth of the sacred tree. 500 years past marks the end of a prophecy, so don't you believe everything that you see. Apocalypto was made so you would hate your own history. They came to kill millions in the name of greed. They plant their seed in their church and universities and write their movies about our society. None of it has fact, psychological attack. But the mandate of Cuauhtemoc said one day we would be back. The eagle and the condor descend from the mesas to sit on Mel Gibson. His whole crew is racist. El Apocalipto was the last of my patients. Soon we'll see the bones of this American nation.
Lasso Kamatli, Ometeo, Tonansin, Tonatu, we are.
Lasso Kamatli. Oh.
To the center of the circle, I thank the four directions, Mother Earth and Father Sky. Some of you may ask why and not understand where I'm coming from. That is because we have been kept from our ancient wisdom, torn away from our roots. That is why we have gangbangers, drug dealers, and prostitutes. Identity lost, spiritual death is the cost. Modern day Holocaust since 1492, but nobody's making a big deal about it like they did for the Jew. You see, Hitler's roots go back to Columbus. The first chance they got, they started killing us. To this very day, the killings are continuous. Just look at Chiapas, the southeast corner of Mexico, where Cortez started the killings over 400 years ago. It seems that murder is a ritual for the newly arrival, using the Bible or any other means to justify their atrocities. Took Africa's babies to rebuild the plantation due to the almost annihilation of the indigenous population. So enter the center of the circle and finding true identity, not a fantasy brought over by the philosophy of a foreign mentality. So I say to thee, yo, 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 Mexica Tiawi. Heavy is the load that we carry, living life as a revolutionary, spitting fire that the four winds will carry to every direction, through every dimension. Heavy is the load that we carry, living life as a revolutionary, spitting fire that the four winds will carry to every direction, through every dimension.
Mexica, the day will come when all of Anahuac will be unified as one. Broken is the cycle once you decide to change your mind, unleashing the ancestries that were left behind. Tezcalipoca, Quetzalcoatl, Ometeo, guide us as we go to fight this evil with a jade heart and an obsidian spirit. I won't cease to persist to tell my people that we still exist. Always a scholar, never a teacher. Don't misunderstand me, brothers, I'm not a preacher. Just a man trying the best I can to awaken the lost souls of Aslan. Like the rays of the sun, I'll nurture everyone. The truth's like a gun, you can't deny the crimes that he's done. Son of Yakub, your time is through. Six on prophecy coming true. The rising of the poor going up against the gluttonous whore. Like my Zapatista brothers say, ya basta, we can't take this no more. Which Lilo Poch need the energy of war. My spirit won't cease to exist to rise once more.
Is the load that we carry, living life as a revolutionary, spitting fire that the four winds will carry to every direction, through every dimension. Heavy is the load that we carry, living life as a revolutionary, spitting fire that the four winds will carry to every direction, through every dimension.
Gotta be Iron Man like Ghost Faces. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and life is basics. Love makes this, jealousy hates this. Word to J. Rue, ignorance is contagious. The element that shapes this matrix. Take this spirit, shape shift the lyrics. Create this spirit, don't taste this, you feel it. As it embraces all races, leaving behind divine traces. You can't erase this like permanent marker. Bullseye all the time, top-notch archer. The richest papa spits this proper. Ella spiritual skills, it's all I got to get me through this existence. Moving with this resistance up against this beast is machine. It's got me raging like De La Rocha steam. I've come to understand the power of cream, so I'm ruled by 16 proverbs. I observe these raw words converse the God's verse to lost herds of sheep. See, my speech is so deep, most need flow these when this bro speaks
all raps or flow, it's all natural. Watch my Mac load as I crack the mold that entraps the soul. Take a chance, let go, let God unfold unto your soul. Let God unfold unto your soul. Heavy is the load that we carry, living life as a revolutionary, spin fire. Let the flow and those carry to every direction, to every dimension. Heavy is the load that we carry, living life.
Right here on KPFA, La Onda Bajita. Low riding through Aslan.
To every dimension.
And right there, you're listening to El Vu. And talking about El Vu, we actually have El Vu on the line with us. We got Victor E. And we got Zero from El Vu. What's up, you guys? How you doing? Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me? Testing. You guys there? Right on. So tell us a little bit what you guys been doing. What's going on with El Vu? Victor, you guys there? I think we lost him, man. We'll be right back. Get you back with El Vu. And let you know more about what they're doing, because as you can hear a little bit of their hip-hop, you can hear some of their songs, and a little bit about, what they're talking about in their lyrics, as in that sense of learning your roots, your ancestry, where you come from, what's really been going down in the last 518 years, right? Through the conquest, through the times of, the ancestral division, so to speak. And so we'll be right back as soon as we get them back on the line. And it goes like this. You're listening to La Onda Bajita. Victory. Zero, can you guys hear me out there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Orale, bro. What's happening? Sorry about that, man. We had a little difficult technique there.
It's all right. It's all right, man. We can hear you clearly, man. Everything's good.
Word. So tell us a little bit about El Vu, what you guys have been doing. I know you guys have been dropping some new stuff and, focused on different issues as well. Orale.
Yeah, man. We recently been working on releasing, getting an actual release date for a video we shot with Rocco from Maldita Vecindad. The video was shot down in Teotihuacan and parts of around the Zócalo, and also parts in LA and stuff, showing that solidarity, Mexico with us up here of people living up here as Chicanos of Mexican descent, So shot the video down there in LA, like I said, and really dope song called Ciudad Celestial. So doing that, and then we also recently released another song based on the movie Avatar, and basically talking about the parallels between that storyline on there and the story of the indigenous people of the quote-unquote Americas, right, and the arrival of the Europeans and how everything played out basically the same way, as Native people being invaded and eventually, driven out of their home and all for greed, for monetary gain, as always is the case.
Yes, that's right. As we know, we've been talking about gang injunctions here, but that's like another sort of underground corporate economy, so to speak.
Exactly, man. You look at the prison system, man. They thrive off of that. They thrive off of that side and the people being in that situation and stuff. Just basically warehousing workers, and it benefits the system, to have us in situations such as that, man. So it's an all around, if we look at it, man, everything is tied together, connected, and it leads back to the money, like who's got a hold of the money, who's controlling that, and the money flow, So we need to really be aware of those things, and that basically it comes down to that, man, and these people are willing to do whatever it is to maintain their control, you know, and I use the word control because power is totally different, you know. Only nature has true power, and that as far as right now, they're using that illusion of them having power, but it's temporary control, man, because we know, like nature teaches us, seasons change, you know, everything has its peak season, and then it dwindles back down, you know, so like I said, man, just got to look at the overall picture, and that's why, you know, a lot of our focus is not, it's from an indigenous perspective, but it's a worldwide view as we can, if we really study the situation, you know.
Yep, that's right, and definitely trying to bring Zero into this conversation. Zero, how's it going, man?
What up, what up? It's chilling, man.
That's right, and you're also a part of Elvu. And tell us a little bit about what you think, man. You know, what's going down with you, and how you feeling about all this situation with the prison system and the industrial complexes, so to speak, you know, taking over the youth and trying to bring in these gang injunctions?
Yeah, man, it's you know, it's almost just clever ways of becoming slaves again, you know. They're just trying to get and trick people, you know. You teach them a minimal amount of stuff, like, you know, you teach them nothing but lies. They'll get frustrated because they don't know where they're from or what the reality of it is, you know, in terms of the worldview, and then they get frustrated, get caught in impoverished environments and create, you know, trouble for themselves, and now they're stuck for life, you know, working for, what, like 5 cents an hour or something like that. I mean, it's not easy to see what the big picture of major corporations are, you know, like Halliburton and all these other people who are trying to entrap souls.
That's right, definitely. And so how does Elvu, you know, try to contradict what the mainstream media, corporate media puts out there in that sense of, you know, bringing that message of, you know, where you come from, your roots, and getting to know your indigenous self?
You know, for me, it's like, it's real simple. It's, you know, my brother Victor just said it. Nothing's more powerful than nature. And people seem to forget that we're human beings. We're not foreign to this planet. And that nature takes over by itself. And once you connect to higher levels of learning, and that happens instinctually because, you know, they can't trick everybody all the time. You know, some people have to survive the ignorance that's been put out there. I mean, if you notice that the people that are getting caught are really young people, you know, so, you know, instinctually nature teaches you what you need to know. Once you master that, it's awesome. It's done. It's a done deal. You'll see through everybody's lives and everybody's political agenda.
That's right. What about yourself, Victory?
I think that if one doesn't have an identity, if one doesn't really know where we come from and what our potentials are, we get lost. We get lost. Of course, it's very slowly changing. At one time, I mean, the only way that we were portrayed on television and movies, you know, you probably heard this millions of times, but it was like the gardeners or the gangbangers or the maids and what have you and stuff, you know. So this has a psychological effect on children and our youth, you know, because that is what we have. That is the image that they are given of themselves. And then you enter into the school system, and being the case, you know, that we right now we're dealing with the fact that in Tucson, Arizona, the school district out there just bans using our music as an educational tool in ethnic studies, and specifically because it talks about that. It talks about the realities of us as indigenous people, as people of color on this continent, you know. And so if a child does not know that their roots comes from greatness, I mean, the Aztec calendar, man, the most precise calendar ever created, you know. I mean, this is not that it needed to, but now it's accepted, you know what I'm saying, by the mainstream scientists, that this is the most precise calendar. Now, if we're portrayed as bloodthirsty savages, we're tearing people's hearts out and holding them up while they're still pumping and everything, you know what I'm saying? So compare that, you know what I'm saying? Compare the fact that we understood the cosmos so well that even the calendar that we follow today is not as precise as the one that our ancestors came up with thousands of years ago. All right, so then if we see ourselves portrayed in any other way or in a negative way, then we fall into those things, you know? And I think it's very, very, very on point, you know, being the fact that right now we are dealing, and, you know, the reason that we got in contact right now because of the song that we're working on, speaking about the banning of our music and basically the banning of the truth, you know, the truth of us as indigenous people, the truth of the history of this continent, especially of this country, the U.S., you know. So for me, it's always been identity. If you know who you are, you know what you're able to produce, you know. And of course, the system that we're up against makes it very difficult for us to get out of impoverished neighborhoods, educational systems that don't function for us, you know, because they are not directed towards empowering people. They're directed towards creating consumers at the lowest level, you know, just enough to get us to be able to read a billboard and to get us to buy the latest product.
Word, definitely. And as we're seeing a lot of youth become part of the mainstream media's image, so to speak, right? And when we're seeing these types of mainstream media not taking responsibility and creating even more, you know, images, inappropriate images for the youth to be a part of, and then blame them for it, and then try to make them pay for it at the same time, is not really like, you know, the part of the cycle that the society is looking at in the sense of the government, right? And so, Zero, we're running short on time, but, you know, you want to say any last words? Where can people find your music, you know, and any last words?
Yeah, man, you know, as hard as this situation is, you know, that we're prisoners of war, you know, in reality, we can't expect nothing more than a system of education that teaches you nothing but lies. And then when you get to college, you get taught the truth, and it shocks you so much that, you know, you make decisions that you make in life, you know. But, you know, all I got to say is that the Creator's with us. As long as we're humble and with nature, that, you know, Creator will see us through any kind of difficulties. I mean, we've survived colonization, and now, you know, not once but twice, you know. And so with that being said, you know, you want to hear more about our music, you can go to elvuh.com, ELVUH.com, and check out, you know, we just released our 4-song, our foreplay with the video. We didn't put too much, you know, hype into it, you know, because we wanted to, you know, let things breathe by themselves. But you can get that at our website, and we're trying to, you know, be selective about how we release our music. So just, you know, we're going to try to give it to people 4 times a year in a 4-song increment. So, you know, just keep lookout, keep in touch with our website because we have a lot more to say.
Mexica Tiawi, muchas gracias. Victory, any last words?
Yeah, man, you can reach us at Facebook and MySpace as well, too. Get at us through that, you know, leave us messages. Also, Brother Yao from Aslan Underground, he says, what's up to you guys, you know, out there in the Bay Area, man, and keep going strong. And we're also working on that song about the what's happening in the educational system out there in Arizona and Tucson and stuff. So be on the lookout for that. And we also have a show coming up with them for the people that are down here in L.A. at the Dragonfly in Hollywood on February 25th. So if you want to come check us out live, man, you won't regret it, man. We got a hype show.
Right on. Well, thank you very much, both of you, and for, you know, keeping it real and dropping that knowledge at the same time, and, you know, bringing in that historical stories that we need for us to be able to understand where we come from and who we are and where we can be.
Thank you for this opportunity, brother. Yawi,
hey, man, thanks a lot for having us on.
Orale, and we go out like this with El Vu, and it goes like this. It's Evolution.
He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue.
Here we go once again. I brought my medicine. I'm planting seeds in your head again. And I'm watering my crops. I'll shoot my arrow at the devil that misleads the flock. A warrior with heart. And from the Mexicayot, I'll never part. I walk, I live, I breathe everything my elders believe. And boom will be the leader against the main sonic teams. They lie, they cheat, deceive, and I lay my life down for what I believe. And you don't wanna mess with the likes of E-R-I-S-E. Everywhere I'm injecting sacred energy. Victory the enemy, warrior positivity. Always moving Kawi and make your head bob. Every time he lets the beat drop. Be the soldier, the spiritual heroes. And I am the zero, the lyrical mural.
Yo, come and ask you like this. Check it, yo. My name is Victory, yes I'm a native rapper. And with that tribal crew, El Boo, I am a chapter. You can never capture my soul with your rapture. Bring out the cops, politicians and pastors. It's getting kinda dangerous for being to this consciousness. They label you a terrorist, so someone choosing ignorance. Claiming that it's bliss, but that's not for this. Evolutionist, I choose to remain a revolutionist like Jesus Christ is through the Roman Empire. I'm one with the fire, rise with the smoke. Touch amounts of beats where creators spoke. Inspiring hope.
Yeah, now we up in the spot. Shall we rock it? Yeah, we know that we about speaking out me. Shikayo, street people flow. We speak to let you know the meek and the humble are not weak. Yo, I'm from old under 500 years of darkness. Still the sun will glow. We grow the seeds we sow, regardless of a heartless colonization. They might occupy our nation, but we with the times changing, enhancing, making it happen. Scratch and grab and break dancing, rapping in the trance expanding, realizing, inciting, enlightenment. Rise with it and we striking with ancestral energy to free you, unite and be the great nation we're meant to be. Big up West Coast warrior society and everyone else striving to be free. Every revolution is seditious energy, enlightening rebel insurrections constantly. There ain't no stopping me or any one of us. We don't put our trust into no type of fake paper neighbor. That's not a type of caper. We just coming over, moving with nature. That's why you can't defeat us. It never fails. Freezing on your ass like we was some hail or some type of element. Yeah, you know how we directing it, grabbing the ancestral energy and hitting it right where it counts. Just freeing our mind, cause you know that it don't count when they riding, striking with technology, but it don't matter cause you ain't stopping me or any of us. That's what we come to tell you. PC Rock representing Elvo.
Left me on your doorstep, in front of a locked door. You don't wanna see me no more. You don't wanna see me no more. Check the hand on my shoulder, it was locked. Guess I could have tried to knock, but you don't wanna see me no more. You don't wanna see me no more. Was it you who put the bars on the window? Got your head up under the pillow. Don't see me no more. It's like you never see me before. Told me once that I was a queen. I lived in peace in a kingdom of greed, but I don't live anymore. All that's such a blood on the floor. Let me get my mind on freedom. Knowing my time on freedom. Let me get my mind on freedom. Knowing my time on freedom. Left me on your doorstep, like I was yesterday's news. Don't wanna see me no more. Don't wanna see me no more. Came here to set you free, bringing the best of me, but you don't see me no more. Don't wanna see me no more. Was it you who put the bars on the window? Got your head up under the pillow. Don't see me no more. Afraid I might just even the score. You carry the gun, you're too tired to run. You think you won, but you
here on La Onda Bajita. ¿Qué tal, Mestiza? ¿Cómo estás?
Hey, how you doing? Very, very happy to be here with you tonight. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Órale.
Vaya.
Yeah, you know, we wanted some female representation, and, you know, you're definitely dropping it right there. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
Well, I'm a musician, of course, a singer, and I also write all my music. This is my first solo project. I've been in the Bay Area for the past, 12 years, hanging out in the Latin crowd, playing with Rumbache, La Familia Son, and everybody else in their mama who need a female vocalist, just having a great time learning a lot of good stuff and hanging out with very talented people, as we are all blessed to do in the Bay Area. So very happy to have launched my project, Mestiza, in 2009. So my group is called Mestiza y La Ley. We roll around the Bay right now doing all kinds of shows, and we're getting ready to launch our second CD that's going to come out in May of this year. It's called Audio Revolution, and it's, again, just a testament to all of the different types of music that I enjoy writing, singing, and playing, and the influences from being in the Bay Area and being in California. It's in English and in Spanish, and there's all kinds of good stuff coming out of it.
And so your name is Luna Torio.
Eso vale.
But then you go by Mestiza, right?
Mestiza, La Mestiza. I guess you could call that my FC name. I don't know.
And so tell us why you chose that name.
Mestiza, that's my blood mix. I'm Filipina and Irish-Scottish. And so that's my blood mix. But I grew up in California and been speaking Spanish all my life. So that's the way it goes when you're a mixed. You just hang out with who you hang out with. And I was blessed to be introduced to Latin music very young. The first songs I ever sang were in Spanish, and it just continued. So, you know, thank God for stereotypes, I guess, in that sense. It allowed me to branch over to a world that I might not have known otherwise. And I really love the cadence of Spanish, and I love how it fits into song and melody and how it works together. And I was fascinated by it, and that continued through my adulthood. And, you know, of course, I took time to study. And so here I am, and my music is an expression of all those things. It's definitely an expression of my Filipina side. It's an expression of my Irish and Scottish side, and it's definitely an expression of living here in California and having all the wonderful people and the different cultures that we have around us daily.
Wow. So you're Scottish and Filipina.
Yes.
Okay, cool, right on. And then you also have the name Ilale.
Ilale.
Mestiza Ilale.
Eso. Because that represents my boys. You know, I couldn't have them all go by Mestiza. You know, that's just not right. So, you know, I am La Mestiza, and they are Lale. So they are the folks that I have to deal with. And I kind of look at Lale as the compromise of being in a society, in a community, working together with people. You have to have some sense of conformity and sacrifice to make things work. And so when I bring, you know, material to the group, you know, we develop it together after that. You know, I bring the arrangement, I bring the, most of the arrangement, and I bring all the lyrics and melody, of course, and the chords written out. And then from there, you know, I really allow it to be a process of us figuring out what works and what we want to do live, because I want everybody to feel inspired by this project and inspired by what they do when they're hanging out with me.
Word. And you know what? I got inspired just by looking at that nice picture you have on your cover. I think it's very colorful, and it has a picture of like you in front of the mic, I think it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Right. And so it was very inspiring just to see even the art on the cover, you know.
Yeah,
like,
big shout out to Estilo Clothing Company here in the Bay Area. He did that. Mr. Jerry Limon actually did that for me, and he's an incredible artist. Been doing it out here, killing it out here for many years, and big props to him, because I do get a lot of compliments on that logo. It's an incredible piece of work.
Word, and definitely caught my eye. So I was like, wow, you know, I got to check out some of this music too.
Vaya.
Right? And so, tell us a little bit about how you grew up in the Bay Area as a musician, and you know, what's some of the struggles as a female in a Latin jazz band, for example, because we don't get to hear most of the time Latin females. Most of all, right? Females in a Latin jazz band singing in the front most of the time.
Yeah, and it is a struggle. I was, like I said, pretty blessed to start it pretty early in my life. I went to high school in San Diego, and my family has been up and down the coast almost all my life. So we've transplanted and moved up here, you know, been down there, been back up here. So I came back up here for good in 93, 94, and really focused on music and focused on putting my group together. And, of course, there's just an explosion of Latin culture up here. And I got pretty deep into the Latin scene, and it was one of those things where my first band up here was called Solavai, and it was more like a soul funk project. project and with some hip hop in there and collaborations with folks, Boogie Shack Productions, and a few other folks around the Bay Area. And, you know, I really liked it, but when I heard Latin, like really like saw live, you know, 15-piece band, which is what they used to do out here. Now it's 7 to 10. But back then I was just fascinated. I was really, really fascinated. And Machete Ensemble was one of the first bands I really saw, like, you know, bam, big 15-piece orchestra. And it was something that I couldn't really encompass. So I felt like I needed to dive into it and really learn. And so I spent the next 10, 15 years studying here as well as in Boston. I married into a Puerto Rican family and learned bomba en plena and really got deep into it on the East Coast and came back here and established in 2000 part of the bomba en plena community out here that has continued. We just celebrated 10 years and it's strong. We have many children that are doing all kinds of things out here, my children included. And, you know, it's just a really strong community of Latin folks just making it happen. And I love that. I love the cadence of the language and how it all works together with the music and the dance. It's all one. And that to me is symbolic of what we should be with music and community is one. And so that's why I really jived into it and just enjoyed all of it. And now I'm at a point where I'm kind of reaching back to where I was before and bringing back some of my American culture and some of the other aspects, hip-hop, funk, soul, all those things that I grew up on as well, Tower Power, you know, all that type of stuff, and bringing it home. So this is what Mestiza is about, this whole mezcla, this whole mix of what I am.
Cool. So do you want to introduce this next song, Not Your Girl?
Not Your Girl. Claro que sí, I will. It's Not Your Girl is about just being an independent woman and really being on top of your game as far as you're not looking for anybody to save you. And I think sometimes people get caught in thinking that they need somebody to save them. And it's beautiful to have relationships and it's beautiful to be in them. But at the same time, if you're not standing on your own 2 feet, you're not standing.
That's right. And we're all our own person now.
That's
at
right.
one point or another, right? And always till the end, I guess.
Yes, you come alone, you die alone.
You know? Y aquí vamos. So we're going to check this song out. We'll be right back and talking to Mestiza y La Ley. Right? Here we go. On KPFA, La Onda Bajita.
Your girl. No, I am not your world. It's evident. I am wind passing, a gentle breeze caressing your skin. When you let me in, oh, I'm not for lasting. There will be no love crashing. It won't be fitting forever. Your girl,
That's right, and that is Mestiza right there, kicking it with us right here on La Onda Bajita. As you can hear the sounds of her breathing, her voice coming through the microphone right there as well. She's here live with us and giving us a sample of her music and what she's been doing throughout the Bay Area all this time, right? And so tell us a little bit more. What are some of your future upcoming projects that you have, and maybe even events as well?
Well, we have a few things coming up. Just next week, we're going to be playing at Cigar Bar on Thursday, February 3rd. So everybody should come out for that. We will be playing more of a dance set. We do a mix of stuff. Sometimes we do it more soul and funk. Sometimes we do it all bailable. It just depends on what the situation is and where we're playing at. So Cigar Bar, we bring a horn, so I'll bring a quintet, and we'll do dance music all night. So I'm encouraging all the salseros to come out and do their dues. And we'll be playing from about 9 o'clock on. That's 850 Montgomery in San Francisco, Cigar Bar, this coming Thursday. And then if you're on the East Bay and you just can't get yourself to cross any bridges, we're going to be playing at Miss Pearl's on Friday, February 4th, this upcoming Friday, and that starts at 8. This is a free event, the one at Miss Pearl's. It goes from like 8 to midnight. It's a great spot if you haven't checked out Miss Pearl's in Jack London Square. It's a wonderful place to be. And then we also play Somar Bar every second Tuesday of the month. So we're going to be there February 8th, and that's in Uptown Oakland, and it's a great place. If you don't know what Somar Bar is, you need to check it out because you're sleeping if you don't, because it's popping. There every Tuesday they have live music, and we are there every second Tuesday of the month, Mestiza y Lale, and that's a quartet, and we do a mix of stuff. We do a little bit more jazz, soul, and funk on that one, and it's all original music. That's what we're about, and we play a really hard show, so if you want to see some good music, come on.
That's right, and as we know, jazz is mostly most enjoyed watched live.
Yes, it is.
Right. I mean, they can be recorded, but that's just one time. And then when you go see that song again when it's live, I'm pretty sure it won't be the same as what the recording was, right?
No, it's the same. And I'm pretty schizophrenic with what I do, so we're always adding new material. We don't have the same set we had even 4 months ago. So there's always stuff going on, always new material, new things coming out of the group, personnel switches here and there as well. We bring in featured artists as well. We have some MCs coming through here and there as well. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming up. But, I mean, sky's really the limit. There's all kinds of things I want to do with this project. But most importantly, I would just want to keep it real and really represent what we have here to offer. I think there's a lot more collaboration that can go on between artists in the Bay Area, and I hope that that's where we're running to and not running away from each other, because it's beautiful when people get together and can do something really passionate and strong and send a message to the Bay Area.
That's right. You know,
everybody.
We should start organizing every year all women's Latin jazz event or something like that, right?
That would be wonderful. I don't know if there's anything. I'm sure there probably is something. I've been wanting to do that and moving more towards that this year. Now that I've gotten a lot of the kinks as far as keeping the band functioning worked out. Now it's time to really focus in on that. I'd like to do something for Women's Day and all the. There's a lot of programs out here, and everybody's always fundraising. So hopefully, we'll be moving forward and doing some more of that stuff. And definitely feel free to hit me up. You can find us at mestizaylaley.com, and you can also find me at Mestiza Productions at yahoo.com. And that's the email. And attention, Lena, and I'll get back to you. We're definitely interested in doing a lot of stuff in the community, and that's really the focus, is keep it with the community.
That's right. And talking about the community, how do you feel the community has opened up their arms or opened up their ears to you, I would say?
They've been so gracious. I've been so blessed to play in so many different circles. I do a lot of folkloric stuff out here as well. And, I'm so encouraged by folks that come out no matter what. They'll come to a folkloric show. They'll come to a mestiza show. They'll come to a rumbache show. They'll come to a La Familia show. They'll come to all these different types. And it's something for everybody. If you dance salsa, you can do that. If you want to, just nod your head to something, we've got those hits too. There's a lot of different music out there to be enjoyed, and it's kind of nice when you don't go to anything that's so specific. Like if you're not a dancer, you're not going to go to a salsa scene. But if you like salsa music, you should be able to enjoy it in whatever range and aspect you can. And presenting it as we do with a mix of other stuff, it allows people to bridge beyond what they know and try something new and different without feeling intimidated by it.
And what would you say to the young women out there, or young ladies that are, young musicians as well, right? And trying to fit into a band or trying to, find their right music to work with. What would you say to them?
Keep your confidence. You're all you got, so don't sell yourself short. It's hard. It's very hard because somebody's always trying to tell you what you're doing wrong in most of the circumstances. And, it's good to take criticism and to take everything as it comes to you. But at the same time, have your confidence. Know that if this is what you want to do, do it. And do it with your whole heart. Do it with all your passion. And learn from whatever somebody tells you instead of reacting to it. Really learn from it. And that has allowed me to have a lot of space. It's taken a long time, definitely, and I've had to deal with all the sexism and all the, put her in the back or just look pretty and sing, don't do anything else, and that's one of the reasons I play congas with my band is because I see the reaction that I get from women. I see the reaction I get from men when they see me directing a band playing congas, and it's my music, it's my baby, it's my project. And when they see that kind of power, it really, really inspires them, I think, to do more than what they've challenged themselves to do in the past. And that's what I'd like to show is that whatever dream you've got, no matter how crazy it is, if you put all your energy into it, you can make anything happen. Right now.
That's right. And as we can see, you got your CD, you got your album cover all nicely made, and so it's really cool to see, the next step to it, right? How do you feel when you see your product done? Like, what do you think?
Well, I love it, but of course, it takes so long to get a project done that by the time that was done, I already had the other one ready to go. So, now I'm really excited about Audio Revolution, which will be coming out in May, and that is really there's a lot more. I had a lot more control over that project because I knew better what I was doing as far as producing my own CD, and I took more control over the arrangements and the music itself. And so it's closer to my heart, this next one. The first one, of course, it's my baby. But at the same time, I'm really excited to keep moving forward and keep producing. And that is just driving that I have inspiration that keeps coming down. And thank God for that, that I may be able to tap into these things. And I'm really just grateful that I have the opportunity to produce and to have something and to put my voice out there and the opportunities that KPFA has given me to show my project. I love it. And I thank you guys so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, why don't you go ahead and tell the folks where they can get the project and actually, interact with you. If you have any events coming up as well, they can find out more information about other projects that might be coming up too. So.
Absolutely. We're on Facebook. If you just search for Mestiza, which is MESTIZA, you can find us there, and there's a listing of all our shows. We're on Reverb Nation. You can go to the website, which is mestizailale.com, and we'll be having we've got videos rolling around YouTube. You can find us. We're in the Bay. So, if you're looking for us, you can definitely find us. Come out to February 3rd, Cigar Bar. Come out to Miss Pearl's on the 4th. Just come out. Check out what's going on in your community. A lot of this stuff. Somar Bar is free. Miss Pearl's is free. A lot of stuff is free. If you just get out the house, you would see there's a lot of cool stuff going on that doesn't cost a lot of money and is very fruitful to inspire your artistry.
That's right. So don't let the gang injunctions intimidate you. Go out the door, build community, go out and, free your community as well, because that's what you do with the talent. And we want to thank you, Mestiza, for being with us, y la ley, as well, and aquí en Espíritu. Y muchas gracias otra vez, for coming out on such short notice, too. And much respect to all the work you've done in the Bay Area as well. So
Millón de gracias. Thank you for having me.
Keep it up. And we're going to go out with this next song. Is there anything you want to say about it?
Yeah, just, we own our communities, and I do want to encourage people to get out on the streets and not be afraid, because fear is the biggest thing that keep you trapped, and we need to look beyond that. We make our community, each as individuals, and so get out and check what's going out. Get out and see what people are doing beyond music, even community organizing, all the things going on. We are in a time period of serious unrest, but within these ashes of the phoenix is growing back, and this is time to put your fingers on it and make it happen if you want to do something real.
Word, and we go like this. This has been La Onda Bajita. Thank you to Mestiza and all the guests.
Why you looking this way?
We'll be back next week.
She's holding your hand. I can call the games you play. I know just where I stand. Another life, fell in love, we had a fight. Maybe what I believe. I know that there's a wrong and right, but baby, I don't want to fight these emotions. They're for real. I gotta find a feeling, oh, you're supposed to be mine, oh, mine. It's not my time to go stealing, no other's love, but I know this feeling's right, so right. Trying to turn my head, trying to close the door, somehow you slipped into me. Crossed about 1,000 seas, travel countries never seen, but some things just meant to be. It's crazy that we're here again, broken hearts that never meant, and fire, bandage twisted. Temptation is the hungry beast, but who is it who calls release on a child prepared for me? I gotta find a feeling, oh, you're supposed to be mine, oh, mine. It's never time to go stealing, no other's love, but I know this feeling's right, so right. When you come close to me, such a fantasy, you're taking me back, you're taking me back. When you come close to me, sweet our melody, you're taking me back, you're taking me back, maybe in another life, we fell in love, we had a fight. Maybe that's what I believe. I know that